Today we have our Turles profile. Doing this for the second time because I had the mute button on. But it is what it is. Pretty good advantage leader. You get two cards, one from the search, one from the life, which puts a lot of cards in your hand. There's not many leaders that does that. Also, for his awaken ability, you draw one, flip one, or yeah, draw one, stand one. Pretty standard. Its only takeaway I would say is the fact that you can't get rid of your Turles cards by your own means. Otherwise, they are sent to the warp or removed due to his permanent. That's his only downside. Due to the fact that a lot of your main plays require all your energy to be mono green. If you could do any other color in your energy zone you want, this would be like one of the best green leaders in the game, in my opinion. But when you play the leader in the leader area, you play this on your opponent's side of the field. This lets you search out your fruits of the tree of might, which is basically your recycle engine of the deck, and it makes your minuses into either break evens, or you cycle this so much it makes them, or it greatly reduces the cost. Say -2 turn into -1, and like sometimes you can go plus or break even depending on how you utilize this. Right, still lined up. Yep. Getting into the general stuff of the deck. As you've seen, fruit. You're running 4 of those. This is the backbone of the deck and the extra card pressure. I think until Destructo Disc was made, this was one of the best 1 energy or most efficient 1 energy cards, but it was tied to your Turles leader because no extra deck gives you +20, and if it's a Turles, it gets double strike. Then this is for flavor. I reminisce cutting this card, but I still like it as a one-off. Then we have 3 dormant potentials. I feel that's all you need because you have strong defense in this deck with the way I built it, which is with this, which these are kind of like a minus to use them, but with the backside, which I forgot to explain, because I'm just trying to get through the deck again, but this allows you to cycle your fruit of the tree of might, and this, if I didn't explain, this allows you to grab it while flipping a life. That's the whole big thing about this deck, is just building a field and flipping your opponent's life over, and that's how you use your other effects like the fruit and killer driver if you have red. But that's for that. Going into our next card, some heart negates, which is very important, and following up the dormant. Don't run token negate. I feel this is kind of like superior to that, and the fact that I don't have to take a life or take a life when I need to. This helps us go into our Z Awaken. That's his main purpose in this deck. There in other versions, you will go into different versions of Turles, but I just cut that up for efficiency. Then we have the ape of the deck. This searches out the parasitic balls. Also, it's a 1 energy unison that +2. +2 unisons are so strong in this game. I can't reiterate that much. You might not get to the -5 too often, but if they leave it alone for the turn and you just stack one under it, you can set this up to be able to play this without using this energy cost. And to follow that up, another thing with plus unisons is empower unisons. I say this is the best one, and like Green needs to run more blocker units just to make dormant more effective. And also, this can possibly swing the game in your favor. Board wipe, triple strike, dual attack. It does everything I need it to do. And it's only a one of. It's been back and forth 1 and 2 of, but I cycle and draw so much in a deck. It's easy to see this. Also, this what I forgot to mention is like having cards that let you look through your deck. Uh, it will give you the ability to better progress and plot out your plays depending on what you have left in the deck. And you always want to have as it's always your deck is better if you have a card that let you look at your whole deck. You just miles ahead. I already explained the loop in reducing the -1 type cards or -2 type cards with the fruits, which your field card grabs a fruit during your opponent's turn, and 2 fruits you can with the backside of the leader you can just bottom deck a fruit and then get a fruit, and so you technically didn't lose any cards, which is the brilliance of the Turles deck, and he has something that no other green deck has or can do or replicate. That's why I put this very high on my rogues list. It's only a rogue because not a lot of people play it, but we are fixing to change that. Uh, 4 super combos, like I was playing before. There's you have too many of these in your hand, or ball. Just always have a search target. You can just put them back with the super combo. Then getting onto the Turles Corpse. 2 of this kind of like a self-awakener. You don't really need to go down to 4 to awaken, but just to turn on your super combos and other things for being at 4 life. Or if you want to play a long game, you just don't have to use it. But most of the Turles Corpse have unique, which is the balancing of this deck. So I can't just spam all different types of Turles Corpse or Turles himself. But if you could, this deck will be 0.5. I'll say that. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, besides the unique, all the Turles Corpse, instead of going to the drop, they play themselves from the or after the battle. This one searches top 3 adds a hand, which I'm running 4 of. Then we got a 3-3 split. Some people call these the ball sack twins, but the main purpose is to play this first because it's gonna play in rest mode, and then this allows you to play this from the deck in active mode, draw 1 and discard 1. That's generally how you use it. And this kind of sets up your dormant plays because like dormant is stronger with blockers. Some people lament that dormant's not that good because like if you don't optimally set up dormant, it's kind of meh, especially in the late game. But if I set up blockers, it makes dormant good throughout any point of the game. It's just intermediate style of play. Then we have 3 of this, which you evolve over your 3-drop Turles, which we have a few of. It's just an extra play extension on pressure and swing. This builds the board very fast and pressures and swings. If you have 2 Turles Corpse, you get to play this. Same with this. This is like the draw engine of the deck. You're running 4 of that, which is really strong. And you could play it on during an active battle, your opponent's turn, however you want to set it up to be most efficient. It's going down. Then we got 2 of the classic Turles. This lets you combo any of the pre-list Turles Corpse from the top of your deck, which makes this pretty ridiculous. A lot of people stop running it, but being able to play any of your Turles Corp guys is pretty insane, even though it has a weak attack, but it gets up. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, your Turles Corp is one cost, but the field card on your opponent's side reduced it to 0. Getting on to our big daddy on top of that. This is just like kind of like a setup one more card, but I still like it as a one-off because he puts in a lot of pressure and makes your field stronger because your Turles corpse is pretty weak for the most part. Then this kind of like a kind of more balanced version of this. This is like the only Turles in the deck that doesn't have unique, which you can have multiple of these on the field, which makes this really strong. Kind of does what the one drop does, but only one of, and it think it uh KO's a battle card too. So this also remove. Anniversary support kind of made this kind of like a lot better. Then we have the final utilities of the deck. As you know, Fruit gives Turles a double strike or 20k to a non-Turles. This just makes that critical. Also, another cool thing about this, when he deals damage, I forgot to mention, especially when you set where my fruit at? The fruit up with the leader swing. Uh, the leader has a permanent where you choose which life is taken, so you can ignore the face up life, which this flips face up, along with other cards like the one drop, which I forgot to mention. But yeah, I read the card. Hopefully, read your cards. Then, man, it's getting loud in here. Lastly, I really don't like this card, this format. But if he's has other help, cause having only one counterplay just to interact with your opponent is not enough. It's either you see it or you don't. That's why we added more, which we help him out with this Goku right here, which this is a slept on card. Hopefully I'm getting the names in the video, but comment below and I'll just explain. But this is kind of like Frieza, but it Z energies them away instead of just KOing them, because there's cards in the game that can't be KO'd, so this kind of pseudo gets around that. But this is kind of like one of the strongest counterplays because this hits 7 or less and this hits 7 or less. That's why this went to 1. But this costs 0 energy if you have a unison, and this just requires total Z energy cost in your battle area, unison, or Z leader area to reduce it by up to 1 or by 1. But you still got to pay that specific cost. But this is very slept on. And it combos with another thing in our side deck. Potentially. Definitely got to double check and read on it. We have one successor target in here, which is the Gogeta. Usually you can't successor in Turles, but we have a way to get around that. That's why we ran this. Just for hitting you for 4 damage at once is pretty much a closer if they don't have anything. Because we'll go wide and then waste your resources on negates and stuff, and then we just drop cells, you know. How we drop it? By going into our Z leader, which once you on the Z leader, it kind of blankets out that permanent where I can't really successfully successor due to game mechanics. So that's how we sneak it in. And also, it's 3, so usually we go into that like after turn 3, which makes this a 1 cost counterplay, which helps us set up for other things. There's a lot of nifty combos in this deck. But this, in order to go into this, you need the ball, which our only purpose is to search it and just get it, use it, send it to our drop. If it's in a grabbable area, we can make Z leader. Building Z energy is not that hard in this deck, but in case we run or use our last effect, we have a second one just to go back into it if we don't win that turn. Just to reset up. Just then from there, we just got standard Z deck stuff like Piccolo, Broly, his extra card, just in case I'm going too fast. Also, this is barrier removal if you have a field, which this deck makes a field. I kind of want to bump him up to 2, but if I do, I probably would cut this card just to make 2 Piccolos because I build a forward fast and I can build Z energy fast and I just make boards and just drop Piccolos on your hand. Or I might just cut Jarol. He's just in there just like another barrier threat swing that can fruit on him and just make this really big. But for Unisons, blockers for Darmant, I was stressing this hard and it finally slowly started to take off where people started to do this, but I was already doing it. As soon as it came out, I'm like, man, this is not just good in mine. This is good in decks that run Darmant, period. Go back to the video archive. I got the receipts. Then we have this just for more unison oppression. And also, it helps if I have like a Z extra out, and this makes my Goku one. 2 is very important. Then, side deck. I didn't have one for the Z Trinity or the Trinity event, but we made one post Koiskai, pretty standard. Goes in most matchups. This one though, I see it well enough. Then we have 2 helps play our Z cards easier, just for hand control and like stuff that has hand control or slightly hand control like Gamma. Then we have this for decks that want to build Z energy or keep Z energy to keep playing their cards out to Z deck. So we say no. Removal, more removal, even though our 4-drop kind of removal does removal, but always having more just for comboing is pretty good. Then we have more counterplays for more interaction, and also we kind of lean into the hand skirt. Then we have the big bomb, which most green decks play in main side. Just for matchups where they have a lot barrier, I decided to send in maybe the trunks and just turn this into a green deck / beatdown, because like this deck can pivot pretty well. And also this can do the burn combo. Since you playing this, you can just combo it out and just burn if they life was above 3, just to make this potentially do triple strike. And also with that, if you set it up, you can make this really big with Z extra cards. And boost it up with the fruit. Dropping this like turn 5, doing the Goku combo, and just fruit. And that's before I super combo. These are kind of like if super combos are super combo, this is like a mega combo, which only Turles can do. But going on to our last cards, Big Amor, just another flood. And if I have a unison that can build up markers easy, this is just a no-brainer. But that is the list. Tell me what you think. Probably some things I missed out on the second take, but let me know your thoughts. Took about the same amount of time, but There's a lot of interesting combos with this deck, and definitely the top of my rogue list. Only reason it's rogue because not a lot of people play it, but hopefully I can bring a better attention so people can play it and enjoy it. Definitely one of my top guys out my rogues gallery. Hopefully you caught most of the cards. If not, just comment below and we can just discuss. Thanks for watching and catch you later.